Okay, so it's Monday, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, barbell work, squatting. So, warmed up, 120 on the bar. Now then, couple of factors. Definitely cut down on the eating. Belt feels about the same, so obviously it's going to take some time to kick in, but at least I'm thinking about it. So it's not the all-out bulk anymore. So that's definitely going to impact on this squatting. Obviously the weight's getting heavier and heavier and heavier. So 120. I'm just get this out of the way. Okay, I might go for a triple, but if it feels okay, I'll go for 5. Yeah, went for 3. Definitely feeling the weight. Hard. So I got this thought of dropping down to triples from watching starting strength videos, and one of the things that they recommend for the older lifter is drop down to triples. Okay, so let's give it a whirl. I mean, I've got 120 on the bar. Now I'm getting to a point whereby it's heavy for me, relatively. It's all relative, isn't it? I mean, at one point in time when I said 120, that's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, nothing to it. Now it's heavy, as an old man. But the idea is going to be just for this, this phase. It's just a phase. It's not forever. It's just a phase. The idea is going to be run this barbell, loading the weights up as far as I can take it. So I'm going to go for 3 sets of 3. And Wednesday is going to be light. So Wednesday I'm just going to do 90% weight, so 90% of 120, which gives you about 95-ish. The thing about Wednesday, it's going to be the day of the heavy deadlift, so that evens things out a bit. So today, it's going to be squat, bench, lat pull down. That's another difference I'm going to make. You use a lat pull down. On Wednesday, it will be light squatting, close grip bench, and heavy deadlifting. So, I mean, the 2 sessions are of equal difficulty, but I'm no longer simply banging more and more weight on the squat. It's just too heavy for me to do it. It's just got to the point whereby it's just I cannot recover. It's exhausting me to do it 3 times a week. All predicted, same with the eating. Unless you're willing to sacrifice all and become a big fat tub of lard, you can only eat so much before it becomes excessive. And I personally feel that I've hit that target. I've become excessive. So this is the point now whereby I'm going to slow it all down, because the calories are not going in anymore. not the same amount anyway. But you know, there'll still be progress. What I'm planning to do is I'm combining this barbell work with a lot of conditioning work. Okay, so that's going to be another factor. I'm going to up the conditioning. Okay, conditioning for me, you know, a lot of it is kettlebells, so it's still strength work, but it's a different sort of strength work. It's sort of like strength endurance, but it doesn't detract from the strength. Okay, let's get another set of 3. Yeah, it's not magic. You know, you can't just keep putting weight on the bar and expecting, you know, to improve all the time at a rapid rate. You know, otherwise we'd all be lifting 500 kilos, and that's not going to happen. So just going to get another triple. Okay. So 3 threes, that's what I'm going to do. And the next time this goes up will be Friday. So Friday, hopefully it'll be 122.5 for 3 triples. So yeah, you can see the you know, the rate of progress has definitely dropped off. But nonetheless, it's still going uphill. There will be more weight on the bar. You know, conceivably, well, we'll see how it goes. Simple as that. See how it goes. Some people on my, have been commenting on my videos about my, you know, my squat form. I'm not sure if I've understood correctly, but I think a lot of people are under the impression that a proper squat is sort of like, I don't know what I call Olympic squat. You know, the bar is sort of like sat on the top of your shoulders, on, you know, quite high. Your position is quite upright, and you maintain a sort of like an upright position. Yeah. I think you know, if anybody follows bodybuilding, you know, most people comment on these things or watch these things. You know, they're following bodybuilding, aren't they? You know, bodybuilding is sort of like the more popular aspect of it. But I'm at this moment, you know, I don't mind bodybuilding at all. You know, I do bodybuilding. But at this moment in time, as regards to squatting, this is all about weight on the bar. This is powerlifting squatting. Powerlifting squatting is a different beast, really. You know, there's no absolute rules to this thing. You know, a lot of it is about the individual lifter. But the way that I squat, yeah. Well, first of all, it's a low bar squat. Therefore, the bar is going quite down your back. Yeah, so it's not perched high on your shoulders. You know, it's a few inches down your back. Okay, and you'll notice that, you know, it's going to start with a sort of like a lean over, isn't it? You know, that's because the bar is down your back. Okay, you'll notice that I'm not looking up, I'm not looking straight forward, I'm looking down. You know, it's a sort of like a diagonal down. Okay, all intentional. That's where I'm supposed to be looking. Yeah, as I say, this is a powerlifting squat, and the powerlifting squat, you're not trying to build your legs up. You know, that might be a secondary effect. What you're trying to do is shift the most weight. And the way to shift the most weight is to emphasize the hips, not the quads. Yeah, this is not, you know. Now obviously the quads play a major part in the squat, but it's not about emphasizing quads. Emphasizing quads, yeah, you take the upright stance. You know, you don't even have to squat at all. You can do other things, hack squats or whatever. Yeah, front squats. The more upright you are, the more the weight, or the more the quads are assuming the burden of the weight. But with a powerlifting squat, you want to shift the most weight, and the most powerful muscles are the hips. Yeah. So the point is not, it's not sort of like straight up and down, vertical. You've got to lean over. You've got to push back with, you know, it's a hip hinge. You know, and what's leading it all from the bottom is the hips. The hips rise. Yeah. Now, I suppose to many people who've been raised on bodybuilding, you know, that looks like bad form. It looks off. But yeah, it's a powerlifting squat. Posterior chain dominant, you know. Glutes, lower back. That's where the power is. More power. Yeah, it does hit the quads, but you're not trying to hit the quads. It just does. It just happens. Okay, last set of 3, hopefully. Okay, I'll also say, you know, again, emphasising, the point here is not to do a pretty squat. The point here is maxing out the weight. That's not always going to be the point, but for this time being, it is. So, yeah, it's a bit like Tyson says, you know, or said, you know, everybody's got a plan until they get smacked in the mouth. Yeah? So when these squats are very, very, very heavy, you know, you are not going to get a textbook perfect squat. It's just so heavy. You know, and the heavier you go, you know, the more ragged it looks, I suppose. Now, obviously, the point is to intend to get a perfect squat, and you get as close as you can. But you know, when that weight's on your back, you know, you're in the moment, and that's all there's to it. You have to do what you have to do. As I say, that's not always the case. You know, sometimes the case is simply trying to emphasise different muscles, like, for example, the quads, doing a squat in a style that emphasises the quads, emphasising great form. Personally, I think that you know, you're probably better off doing machine work to do that. Yeah, you know, find some decent machines that allow you to have that sort of like that carbon copy rep. Whereas for me, at this moment in time, now, yeah, not forever, but now, the idea is to build some strength, to put some weight on the bar. Yeah, all of this is relative. Yeah, I mean, is 120 kilos heavy? Well, as I say, when I was 18, it was extremely heavy. When I was 21, it was fairly heavy. When I was 30, it was light. When I was 40, it was a joke. Yeah? That's when I was hitting my heaviest squats. You know, I was getting 200 kilos for reps. But since then, walked away from powerlifting, concentrated on, other aspects of life. Work, horrible work, hate work, work. And I did a lot of cardio stuff, enjoyed it no end, 5k races, that sort of thing. But over the years my squat has declined, so I've remedied that. When I started squatting this year, I had very light weights on the bar. It took me quite a while to get to 80s and 90s. Now it's at 120 for a few reps, not many reps obviously, for a few reps, but 120. Yeah, it's not the joke, not as much of a joke as it was. So I'm getting progressively more satisfied with the weight on the bar. So I won't be pursuing powerlifting squats forever. What I want to do is get to I don't know, I'm thinking something like 140 kilos as a single for the time being. Something like 140 for a single, that sort of thing, and then maintain that and add in ever more conditioning. So I can get back down to the abs maybe. So hopefully, the whole process, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's a hungry caterpillar putting weight on the bar, getting fat. Now I'm having to, realise now that, well, not realise, it's, I knew it was going to happen. But it's got to the point now where the fat is a problem, so I've got to stop or slow down the calorific intake. The progress on the bar is going to slow down, but it's still going. And as I go forward, ever more conditioning, and then see what happens. If I get to the point where I can lean out and do 140s, I'll probably repeat the process and put some more weight on the bar. But we'll see. I don't know, I've got no crystal ball. The big unknown in all this for me is the aging process. I can look at what I used to do, but I can't replicate it. I simply haven't got the recovery ability that I had. Everything's going south. That's the reality of it. It's not a case of positive thinking or whatever. That's the reality. You got to work within reality. The reality is that my recovery ability is impaired as I'm getting older. I've got a lot of wear and tear on my body from previous lifting. And the simple reality is that I can't get as high as I used to be, and I can't go as fast as I used to do, but I can do something. I can improve, and that's the name of the game. And eventually, the name of the game is not going to be improvement at all. It's going to be maintenance, and eventually, maintenance is going to be slowing the decline. And that's the reality of aging. That's the reality of it. You're not going to be 80 years old and do what you did when you were 30. If I'd be quite happy just to get to 80. As long as I'm not in excruciating pain, as long as I'm somewhat active, good stuff. Anyway, I'll leave it there. So I'm not going to say that was a great step forward. It was what it was. 120 kilos for 3 sets of 3. So I've definitely come to the end of the process of 3 sets of 5. It's not that I simply decided to do 3 sets of 3. That first set, I did 3 reps and thought that's it. There's no point in risking starting a rep, getting halfway through and come crashing down. So even though I've got safety set up, it's still somewhat dangerous. It's not ideal to fail a rep on squats. It's just so draining to take these squats and deadlifts to absolute failure. It's a bad idea. Anyway, but I've got 120 for 3 sets of 3. So hopefully on Friday it'll be 122.5 for 3 sets of 3. And we'll take it from there. Okay, bye.